And I think too, like there was one point in the trip last year where I was like, man, I need to catch a fish because I was so excited to
Yeah,
pick up that
yeah,
flogger and
yeah,
just watch what that fish was doing and how he was eating and how he was reacting to baits. And that's just part of like how my mind works, because I'm interested, obviously working at Dubro Fishing, we make baits and, we've been working on some things. So it's very cool to be able to have that firsthand look at how a fish is reacting to something. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. I think one of the biggest things too, um, and I'll circle back around to it a little bit here, but like that's the first time we've been in a boat together,
Yeah,
which is weird.
we've always kayak fished
Yeah,
together, right? But yeah, that was the first time we actually boat fished.
and it took us about 10 minutes to find a communication
It
method.
wasn't even that.
Uh,
It was probably like point
yeah,
0.3 seconds. But
yeah,
that's the thing, though, right? Like you and I have both fished in boats with other people
hmm
before, So I mean, it wasn't like, oh no,
yeah,
whatever. But um, yeah, we had those skills dialed in right away, and we knew what each other were thinking
yeah,
and what the plan of attack was. And um, I think the key too is last year we did really well, and we kept searching for new water. Like
yeah,
our game plan and our mindset, like from the tournament aspect, was let's get a bag right away, and then it's upgrade.
yeah,
Um, and then not only that, but as we're upgrading, we can explore some different areas and still have our other areas to fall back on. I think that's important
yeah,
in a tournament scenario.
yeah,
I mean, I know I fish kayak tournaments like that. I don't have just a spot
yeah,
unless it's really that bad. But
right,
you always try to have 3 to 6 spots, and I think we really dialed in on those spots and made them count.
yeah, yeah, for
So
sure. You know, one thing looking looking at the fish and the reaction of the bait, like you were talking, like how they react to that bait, how like how they reacted to donkey drop
Mhm.
versus a tube.
Yeah, well, that was the thing. I was just thinking that was last year you tied on that pink too, uh, which is a color we're
Yeah,
playing with, and it's kind of like a bubblegum type color with some certain flake in it. And you toss that on that bed and on that first fish, and that fish was not having it. It
no,
was something about it. I don't know if it was the color. I say it was the color because you and I had both thrown different colored tubes on that bed,
yeah,
and the reaction was just like,
yeah,
and they would eventually try to go after it and nudge it off the bed, but like that pink man, it fired them up
something. Yeah,
aggressive,
yeah,
and they did not want to have any part of it, and they just wanted to get it out of there right away.
yeah,
So
yeah. Even as long as I've been fishing it too, um, there are definitely some things that I saw and learned
yeah.
up there, fishing that style of tube, and kind of how we were using the bait a little bit, proto in that bait, and certain things, certain little subtleties that really set that thing apart.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I mean, like I said, dude, it was night and day difference. Um, just your average, tube that everybody's accustomed
Yeah,
to, that color and that kind of pattern and stuff. And um, yeah, those fish just were not having it. They wanted that thing out of there.
yeah,
And it was interesting to me just to see how aggressive, because we had already thrown probably 4 other baits at that fish,
yeah,
and I don't think it was the fact that we fired it up from those other 4 baits. I think it was whatever that fish saw in that
yeah.
pink tube. It it